Good morning, people of the cardboard, and welcome back to Fun Deck. So we are back with Burst Protocol reveals, and we have two new Exosister cards. This is something I called a bit because I told you that we were going to get new Exosister and new Rescue Ace support. So I will after reviewing these cards, I do want to go in and kind of talk about the Rescue Ace and what we know based off the main sport, because we only have 9 cards after this. So we can kind of guess what we're going to get for Rescue Ace, which is interesting. Anyway, let's get into Exosister. Exosister is pretty cool. It got indirect support in Doom Dimensions. It got a Spirit Monster that can search monsters with 800 attack and defense. It's a level 4, which works well with the deck because it has a lot of condition or summon conditions or locks that basically prevent you from special summoning that monsters aren't Exosisters. Obviously, the Spirit Monster avoided that by normal summoning. Let's get into it. So we have Exosister Carmel, I believe. It's level 4 Dark Fairy. This is interesting because all of them have been light spellcasters before, I believe. Attack 26, defense 18. It takes 2 level 4 Exosister monsters. Interesting. The other level rank 4s were all generic. But it does. We'll see how easy is this on. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. If this is Exceed Summon, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. Set one Exorcism spell trap from your deck, grave, or banishment. Okay, that's pretty cool. I do have some of them I've looked up. We can pull those up. When your opponent activates a normal spell card or monster effect, with effect you can attach all material from the card. If you do, that effect becomes add-on card from your opponent's graveyard to the hand. Ooh, this is really interesting. All right, so it's interesting that this is like a delayed set. I mean, that's fine. It's a little weird, but it's cool. But this effect, why this is relevant, is not only is this. Oh, it's okay. Sorry, I just realized this is a normal spell card or trap. That's weird. That doesn't work on quick plays. I mean, that's or field or whatever. But monster effect's fine. Okay, I think some people are sick of generic omni negates. So this is fine. It's a little weird, but okay. But regardless, I like this type of interaction that changes what the effect is. I think that's really nifty. I think it's a little better than an Omni Negate. And obviously, because it is a negate, you don't have to worry about if it's activate once per turn, they could use it again. So this is pretty cool. And the reason why this is useful is that your Exorcister is a pretty powerful deck, but a lot of their effects require them to move a card from their graveyard, right? And so, or move from the graveyard. So this would basically force your opponent to move a card from, I believe this is how it's worded. Yeah, they would add a card from your graveyard to your hand. And I'm confused in terms of who selects it. I believe based on the wording, it would actually still be your opponent who selects it. Yeah, if I'm even reading this right, it's early for me. But we'll see. But yeah, this is cool for the searching spell traps. I have some of them pulled up. So they have one that's a quick exceed, which is big deal because theoretically, you pay 8 and then you can quick exceed. And this is the one you might want to do. This is a Abyss Dweller, so the turn it's summoned, you can either put like an effects in the graveyard. So this one is the one you want to summon during your opponent's turn. And they've had one method of searching spell traps, so be able to set this, and then during your opponent's turn, you can use the new pseudo Omni Negate and then quick exceed into this, which is pretty cool, depending on the deck you play, of course. And then they have a couple traps I thought were interesting. This one, yeah, so this one's cool because it basically says as long as you exceed summon this churn, you can get non-target banish, or you can use this, like the other one, to exceed summon. And on top of that, it is, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So this is a ban, I guess it would be up to 2 banishes of cards your opponent controls, or a banish a card your opponent controls, a targeted banish, and then exceed summon. So that's pretty nifty. And then this one's weird. It's just a double like E tally. But overall, I think this is pretty good. I think this is nice for a support card. I think it's weird that they are locking Exosisters. That's fine. But I do wonder, yeah, what's nice is that it doesn't have a lock. The previous monster, sorry, I hate jumping back and forth. This monster does require 2 rank 4 Exosisters, and it's kind of your big boss monster. So it is nice that this one says it must be made with a above material, so you have to use 2 rank 4s. But the new card theoretically could be cheated out just using any of your methods of quick exceed something. Anyway, let's get into the new spell check you can search up. You only use the first and second and third effects of this card game once per turn. All right, that's great. Sorry. When this is resolved, add 2 Exosister monsters to deck hand, then discard a card. Ooh, that's great. I mean, the deck has always struggled. They were always wanting to get Martha. So this is awesome. I think that getting a double searcher. I don't think because I don't know how much of the deck actually revolves around playing from the graveyard. So discard one. I mean, worst comes to worst, it'll be fine. Just gain one Exosister basically. You can target one face of monster your opponent controls immediately at this controls, or normal summon Exorcism monster that mentions it. Oh, okay. So this is, I think, a really cheeky way of, because every Exorcister mentions a different one. So this is very cute because you could search out both of them, normal summon one or summon one, and then use this card to normal summon the second one. Okay. And if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, even during the damage step, you can make your opponent banish one of them. Ooh. Ooh, interesting. Let me check some of the wordings because I'm confused in terms of um, if your opponent moves. I believe the way this would be worded is your effect, but your opponent is choosing. So this is again one of those things that they claim targets the player, which is odd. But basically, your opponent would be the one moving this, I believe. So this would be actually really nice. I think this is a staple 3 of just because it's a searcher, obviously, and yeah, just honestly, this forcing the banish is pretty good against certain situations because they have to banish that particular card. So you can kind of save it. So theoretically, let's say you're playing against Yummy and they summon, any of their Yummy cards, which is kind of how the deck operates. It doesn't really matter which one, but they link into the link one. Normally they would need to go for the field spell that would revive that first Yummy monster back. But if you do this, you could force them to banish it. And they can still recur it, but it means that they have to kind of wait to use their field spell effect, and that's the only card they have. It kind of sets them on a requiring extender. So this is really cool. I think something the deck has struggled with is that their cards revolve around your opponent using the graveyard. And so a deck classically, like, I'm trying to think of one, I guess Yummy does use the graveyard a fair amount. Let's say Canine. Canine, it has a couple graveyard places, not much. But having an effect like this that could really shut your opponent out would be great. And what's cool too is that, like, for example, if you're worried about K9 with this card, well, they would probably need to search that the Lantern, right? And the Lantern would need to revive one. Well, if you banish the material sent, Lantern can't revive, and so they're kind of cut off of making that second ring 5. I really like this card. I think this is good interruption, and it's not super duper powerful. And also in a situation where 2 cards are sent, your opponent can kind of play around it to protect the one they want to send. So it's good. I like this effect a lot. I really like the support. I'm not a huge Exosister fan, but I think this can do a lot. But what I'm really excited about is what this means for Rescue Ace. So if we want to check out, now, like I said, we only have 9 cards, excluding the Exosisters we just talked about, that we could get, right? So we have 3 3, normally it would be 3 just effect monsters. And then I guess, so here you can see it's between a flip monster and a ritual pendulum. So it's kind of weird what this could be. This could be anything from just, I assume, a normal effect monster again. Could be more flip monsters, could be pendulums, could be a ritual. So this card's kind of up in the air. But I doubt they would do anything too funky with a Rescue Ace main deck. So there's the potential it could just be an effect monster. And then this there's a synchro spot, right? This one for sure is going to be a synchro monster. And then we have one last monster, or potential monster, which is a link monster, or it's a spell, right? So what this means is that in terms of tools, monster-wise, what we're going to get for Rescue Ace, we can either just get a monster, a main deck monster, which would be fine, but I think the deck has some pretty solid ones. Unless they give it a new starter main deck one, that'd be weird. I doubt they're going to go for a pendulum, and I doubt they're going to go for a ritual. So, but a synchro would also be weird, especially because they don't have tuners. So I think a link monster makes sense. I think there's a spot for it right here for it. So we'll see. We'll see when that comes out tomorrow. But let's say they could, unless they give 2 monsters, the only other option would be a trap. I don't think there's any other room. So I think what I'm saying is that either they give me a main deck monster and a link monster, or they have no link monster and just a spell and a trap, or a spell and a monster. That's kind of where I'm guessing. Either way, I'm excited. I really hope they do get some type of extract tool that's not a synchro monster. I hope they get a link monster. That's kind of what I think the deck could use, especially something that counts as Hydrant would be big, because Hydrant's such a linchpin of the deck that's kind of easy for your opponents to play around. But I'm getting a little meta here. We'll see. I'm sure we're going to get the remaining reveals in the next couple days or so. The set does, I think, officially release on Saturday in Japan. So probably in the next 2-3 days. We don't tend to have to wait till the reveal. It's like the day before, maybe. So maybe Friday at the latest. But anyway, without further ado, that's Fun Deck signing out. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, what you're hoping for Rescue Ace, and what you think about this new Exorcister support. Is this game breaking or is this just pretty solid? Anyway, bye.